Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Look North. The headlines from us this Thursday night. Blinded in an attack last year, the religious leader still waiting for justice.
The pain still remains, and I still got the nerve pain in my head even today.
The region's biggest event, the RAF Waddington Air Show, has been cancelled next year because of runway repairs.
Inevitably, it was always going to have an effect on next year's air show, but the decision has just been taken that, in fact, in 2015, there won't be an air show at RAF Waddington.
The news comes as organisers here prepare for this year's show, which has already seen record ticket sales.
Also tonight, the MPs claims that anti-fracking protesters are wasting police resources. 6 weeks of delays as East Yorkshire rail passengers swap the train for the bus. And the £500 phone taking pictures 18 miles above the Earth.
And I'll be back later in the programme with the full forecast for tomorrow.
The Humberside Police Commissioner says he's prepared to ask the government for extra money if anti-fracking protests continue in East Yorkshire. Matthew Grove says the cost of policing the demonstrations has the potential to become a concern. His comments come as Humberside Police is criticised for sending too many officers to police a protest at a gas drilling well. Here's our environment correspondent, Paul Murphy.
This morning there was a light police presence at the West Newton drilling site. It was in marked contrast to yesterday when dozens of officers descended on this remote corner of East Yorkshire as lorry after lorry of gas drilling equipment was driven onto the site.
Lots of police along the route. I came from Scala, police at quite frequent intervals along the roads. It just seems so excessive, the number of police, because these people aren't violent.
This protest is all about a controversial method of gas extraction called fracking. There is no fracking taking place here, but protesters believe it's a matter of time before it does. At present, though, local people seem more concerned about the nature of the police response.
I've never seen so many police. I don't think you'd have more police if you'd had 2 murders.
The children were intrigued, so they started videoing it, because obviously they'd never seen anything like it before, all the police and everything.
But there is also growing frustration with the actions of the protesters.
My message would be not to the police. The police do the best job they can with the resources they've got. It would be to the protesters. It would be to say, get off our verges, go home, and, we'll welcome you to come and demonstrate. You've demonstrated now, but demonstrate it. If you want to demonstrate against fracking, wait until we've got proposals on fracking.
Cost will also be a concern. The Greater Manchester Force, which dealt with anti-fracking protesters at Barton Moss, ran up bills of more than £1 million and is now applying for government help. The Humberside Police Commissioner says if the cost of policing the protests here escalates, he will do the same.
Should that situation change, then I will write to the Home Secretary to make sure that we're protecting frontline policing, protecting the budget, and to make sure that our valuable and finite policing resources are available for the protection of residents and communities in this area.
Humberside Police says its presence yesterday was to facilitate a peaceful protest and to ensure the safety of everyone involved. It's a challenge this force is going to face again and again with these protesters in the weeks to come. Paul Murphy, BBC Look North, West Newton.
Thank you, Paul. Who should pick up the cost of policing the protest then? Should it be the company itself, or is it right that it comes out of the general policing budget? Maybe you agree that the Home Office should step in and give Humberside Police extra funding. This is the protest at these sites. Your thoughts on this one if you want to email in looknorth@bbc.co.uk. 77 Fahrenheit. And a response on the subject of policing the anti-fracking protests. Mike's emailed, the protesters should pay. They're the reason the police are there. They have no right to impose additional cost on the wider community. Carl's in Harley says these protesters are just a drain on a finite money pool. They should retire to their own homes until fracking proposals have been put forward, which is not the case at the minute. And finally, Margaret says the police were protecting the property of the drilling company. They would not have been there in such force otherwise. Big response on that story. Thank you very much indeed for those. Thank you for watching. We're back at 10:25. Join me then if you can. Have a nice evening. Take care. Bye for now.